6 stories from our MM communities in Nigeria and Republic of South Africa are in this week's Events Roundup. While Guider Emil San Juan will also be with us with his Just My Opinion, with another important topic to ponder on. And in our advisory, you will hear about a new feature launch in your personal office and a good news for MM South Africa members. To all our viewers around the world, this is MNC, your Mavro News channel. This week, we start off again with a look-back story from Nigeria. On October 23rd of last year, people from Bida in Niger State flocked to the Tifin Chuanko Primary School to attend an offline presentation organized by Guider Emil. A team member welcomed the guests first before Guider Michael was called in to begin the seminar. He talked first about the nature of MMM and its presence worldwide before discussing how it was founded. He also showed them how the peer-to-peer exchange happens and taught them how to interpret the different colors of their Mavros. Another team member took the stage to discuss about the benefits offered by the community. Then it was Guider Michael's turn again, and this time he shared with them the rules that has for its members so they can avoid all the risks involved in participation. He wrapped up the occasion with a question and answer segment. Moving on to our most recent stories, we start off with Guider Elson Mabena, who hosted an opportunity presentation on April 25 of this year at the Samandkor House in Johannesburg, Central South Africa. His goal is to present MM's ideology to the new invites and also motivate the old participants who will attend. Guider Elson made his presentation casual with him and 7 of his guests all seated as if just having a round table meeting. He started off by shedding light on what really happened when RSA had to declare a restart. He assured them that the system now is healthy as the administrators have implemented many measures to avoid repeating the same outcome. Guider Elson also encouraged the old participants to pick up wherever they left off and move on with MMM. He reminded them that the community is not only about money but is also about setting themselves free financially. He encouraged all of them as well to review the ideology of MMM and understand it more. As parting message, he challenged his attendees to be active in sharing the ideology of the community, as he said it is the best way for to become stronger. 4 days later, on April 29, it was Guider Milant Motsefe's turn to rally her old members and at the same time introduce to new people as she sponsored an offline presentation at the Mbaladzu Primary School in Mamelodi, East Pretoria. There were 25 people in the crowd, and they were a mix of old members and new prospects. Guider Milant addressed the old members first by saying that MMM in South Africa is alive. She said that this is due to people who continue to spread the ideology of MMM because they have experienced the benefits given by the community and wish to continue doing so. And for those who wavered, she said that most often they had been so engrossed in making money in MMM and forgot to fully understand and share its visions and goals. She encouraged all of them to revisit those things so that it would be the first thing they would share to their invites. Since she made her presentation short, Guider Milan encouraged the prospective members to approach a person who invited them so they could explain more about MMM. Before calling it a day, she asked 1K Guider for her testimony. Also on April 29, another Guider up and about and sharing the MMM ideology is Guider Louis Manguava. 7 people from Mindron joined him during his presentation at the Clifffontaine View.
My name is Louis. Thank you all for attending this presentation today. I really appreciate your presence today.
Aware of the
Today,
bad press
my mission
before,
of health,
he immediately
of
addressed
which
them about the
let's say
challenges that
you
South
provided to
Africa
someone,
faced before.
you
He
get
assured them that
10%
it is back on track and
of
is
that
slowly
money you
gaining momentum
provided
again.
help with, but it
Then he
not
told them
10%,
about the
but you
information
also
needed
need help
for them to register for a free
from your
account.
heart
The question
for
about
all we need
restart
to
popped up
provide
again
to
from
anyone
one of his
you have
guests,
met with.
and Guider Lewis reiterated that the
So to
administrators
register on
have
Simple, you
addressed the
only pay
problem already
20
by
just
putting
from
in
helping
place
you guys
new
in that
innovations
way.
and a
So
system that
this is
balances the provide
mandatory.
help and the
So
get help
they
queue.
are risk.
Since he made his
So if you
presentation
understand
short,
this system, you can
Guider Lewis
whereby
promised
you
that
must
he
have a
would
heart of
create a WhatsApp
humanity
chat
before,
group for
but
his
if there are
7
some
guests
challenges before,
so they can
so
send him
right now
questions or
the
ask
farm
for help
farm
about
system
anytime. He
backups
also
which
encouraged them to give the
we can
community a try,
implement system
but he
so that
said that
we want to
all
benefit
decisions
so
rest on
much
them.
people are
Before wrapping
getting the
up, he
opportunity.
promised them
And
that
also guys,
he would
as you
provide
mentioned
all the
that this
assistance he
system is
can
working,
for them to understand
this
the workings
is helping
of the
people
community
around
better.
our communities.
While Guiders Millant and Lewis were busy on their respective events, Guider Noma was also preparing for her own talk on that day, April 29th. Unlike the two who chose to hold it on public venues, Guider Noma opted for the comforts of her home in East London. After making a short welcome message, she went on giving an overview of what MMM does. She told her guests that as a social financial network, MM is not just found in South Africa, but also on different parts of the world. She added that it does not need any money to register for an account because all they need is a valid bank account number, email address, and phone number. She also shared with them the different kinds of bonuses aside from the regular 30% donation reward. Guider Noma further discussed that these benefits are not given to all, as some are given to those who actively invite new members and those who are guiders. For those interested to become a guider like her, she mentioned the free 10-day online course and encouraged them to take part in it. Guests asked questions as her talk continued, and instead of turning them down, Guider Noma answered them clearly. Isimbokondweni in Amanzimtoti, South Africa, was the venue of our last Events Roundup story this week. On April 30, 2017, it was where Guider Prince was able to gather a dozen people for his offline talk about MMM. He gave them first a brief history of MM and the reasons why Sergei Mavrodi re-established it in 2011. Then he disclosed its guiding ideology, which he said is an important thing to understand for them to appreciate the community better. In discussing the benefits, Guider Prince mentioned that in MM you need to provide help first before you will have the chance to get help. But he clarified that they have the free will to decide on what amount they would spend on MMM. He added that whether big or small, their donations would still get the same 30% rewards. And or those wanting bigger donation bonus, Guider Prince told them that they can get it as high as 50% if they use digital currency called Bitcoin in sending donations. He explained further that using Bitcoins is easy and secure, that it is accessible to members anytime as long as they have internet access. As parting message, he shared how his life was before and after he joined MMM, and he encouraged them to give it a try by just using their spare amounts of money.
Good morning, everyone. It's another great and blessed day indeed. My name is Emil, and you are watching Just My Opinion. During our last week's episode, we discussed about the reliability of MMM reviews which are being posted on the internet. For this week, we are going to discuss another hot and trending issue in our community, but this time this is not only an issue inside or limited inside the MMM community, but this is also concerning the whole cryptocurrency users. I know most of you, especially the Bitcoin enthusiasts, heard about this news on Bitcoin scaling proposals. During the last few weeks, or the last few months, it became really obvious that the blockchain network needs a boost in its transition or in its transaction capacity. As Bitcoin gains more and more popularity, the number of transactions are increasing at a very high rate, which results in high transaction time and processing fees. To address this issue, a lot of proposals were given by two different groups. The miners said that the block size limit should be increased to reduce network congestion. On the other hand, the core developers who aims to provide error-free Bitcoin network proposed to move out some of the data from the block. And of course, the result will be the same, which is to reducing network congestion, plus allowing some new features of Bitcoin like the smart contract. They call this proposal SegWit or segregated witness. Now, both groups have their own motives to achieve, which caused a conflict. SegWit is getting a lot of resistance from Bitmain, which was around 20 to 30% of mining in Bitcoin network. With all these proposals, both groups finally agreed on a mutual decision, which is called the SegWit 2x. That will implement SegWit and increase the block size limit from 1 megabytes to 2 megabytes. The new software SegWit 2x will be released to miners on the 21st of July, and around 85% of miners are willing to run it. From the 21st to 31st of July, the Bitcoin community will monitor how many miners deploy SegWit 2x. If more than 80% deploy it consistently, the whole community will surely follow, and the split of Bitcoin will not happen, at least for some time. But if majority does not deploy the software by July 31st, then a user-activated soft fork will happen. For those who don't know it, soft fork is similar to adding a new feature to an app, and once UASF is deployed, a possibility of chain split is very likely to happen, which might cause high volatility of Bitcoin price. Some said that if the split actually happens, Bitcoin value might drop to 0. Although in my opinion, there is a very small chance for a chain split because majority of miners already showed approval to the SegWit, though we cannot really tell what would happen in the future. Here's a piece of advice from me. If you really want to prepare for what's going to happen, if you are hoarding Bitcoins, do not store in exchanger wallets wherein you don't have the private keys. Instead, store it in a secured wallet where you can have transactions or where you can have your private keys. Also, make sure to avoid doing transactions 2 to 3 days before and after August 1, or just to be on the safe side, wait for the news from the credible sources like Cointelegraph or Coindesk. We have seen the Bitcoin survive many struggles before, so I think this one too shall come to pass. That's it for this week. I will see you again next week. I hope this segment helps you out today, especially for all the Bitcoin enthusiasts and Bitcoin fanatics. Again, this is Emil saying, remember that everything that I said in this video is just my opinion. Have a great day, guys, and bye-bye.
South Africa is coming back to normal work and current Mavros being paid in full amount. With these positive scenarios, members with old Mavros are now given the opportunity to recover their frozen contributions slowly. For every new PH request, a member makes 10% of that amount will be the value released from their old Mavro. Please note though that the release will follow the new money rule and calculation shall be based from the request made on June 30, 2017 onwards. Here is a sample computation. A member made a Get Help request for 1,000 Rand on June 30, 2017 and provide help for 3,000 Rand on July 1st. The new money PH is 2,000 Rand. 10% of that is 200 Rand. So that will be the amount released from their old Mavro. All participants now has a link to their own personal landing page, available in their PO. This is a single page website with advertising content and information about MMM, which also contains the members' referral link. How does it work? You place your personal landing page link on forums, social media, or just send it to another person using private message or email. When the recipient clicks your link, they are taken to the single-page website that contains a properly designed MMM advertisement with a call to registration. When the person decides to become an MMM member and gets registered through the site, they become your referral and you can get all the bonuses to which you are entitled. According to the administrators, this innovation is simpler and more convenient method to attract new members as it already includes an ad promoting MMM. Members have two options now: use the old referral link or the personal landing page link. The web address for the personal landing page can be found in the referrer section of the personal office. Another edition of MNC, your Mavro News channel, has ended. We wish everyone a great week ahead. I am Mark. Always remember, together we change the world.